The cancellation of Star Wars 1313 is the #1 game that comes to mind for many people when they remember Disney shutting down LucasArts back in 2012. And while that game always did look the most impressive back in the day, and well, still even today, it was nonetheless nowhere near completion. At least not enough for Disney to consider investing their own funds to finish it. Pair that up with the mess behind the scenes of that game, and then we can come to terms on why it was never released. Or at the very least, try to understand why Disney dumped it in the end. However, there was one LucasArts game that doesn't get mentioned much that actually far exceeded 1313 in terms of development and even gave Disney more reward than risk. But unfortunately, as you can tell by the title, it wasn't released in the end either. And that is Star Wars First Assault. For those who don't know, Star Wars First Assault was a game originally planned for Xbox Live Arcade, and was being developed as a budget first-person multiplayer online shooter, focusing exclusively on ground combat, and was set up to be the first game in a trilogy that would gradually create a new Battlefront-style series. As according to the devs, the second game would have integrated both ground vehicles and Jedi Sith, which of course are staple mechanics part of the original Battlefront games. LucasArts Singapore even created some absolutely amazing concept art for this game, which even to this day has become pretty iconic and seen all throughout the internet when you search for Star Wars. So much so that many fans probably never knew or will know that all these pictures came from First Assault. The game had initially been born out of the reaction to the cancellation of Free Radical Design's Battlefront 3. And whereas Free Radical's vision of Battlefront 3 had been an ambitious project that planned to incorporate seamless transitions between near orbit and ground combat from the very start, the First Assault team over at LucasArts wanted to take a more staggered approach, building up the gameplay variety incrementally with each release. There was even the suggestion at one point that First Assault would be a free-to-play game but with microtransactions, though this would eventually be scrapped. And when Tim Longo Jr., the creative lead on Star Wars Republic Commando, joined the project, that's when things really got moving as the team doubled down on the multiplayer aspect and the visual identity for the game, as the idea behind the project was to take a grittier and darker stab at the Star Wars universe, focusing exclusively on the Stormtroopers and Rebel Troopers as opposed to the Force sensitives like the Jedi or the Sith. Something which normally wasn't commonly associated with Star Wars games at the time and, well, even now. Aside from Republic Commando, we've yet to see something do what First Assault wanted to bring to the table. Like with Republic Commando, First Assault also focused a lot on squad play, with players encouraged to stick together during a match in order to activate a buff that would allow them to expand their radar to see more of the map, and as well be able to revive downed teammates of their squad. As for weapons, First Assault categorized its available weapons as follows: blasters, assault weapons, sniper rifles, shotguns, bowcasters, and concussion rifles, yielding significant knockback. There was also a disruptor laser which could perform one-hit kills and acted similar to the Spartan laser in the Halo series. It should also be noted that all these weapons would also be fully customizable, just like as seen in the modern Call of Duty games with the Gunsmith. In addition to all of this, players could also access deployables such as force fields and rocket turrets, as well as throwables including ion, gas infection grenades, and use several nifty abilities like tactically revealing the enemy's position for a teammate, or activating a hologram of a unit. Modes-wise, First Assault would include a standard 8v8 deathmatch called Attrition, a capture point mode where you'd claim the enemy's base, another mode called Sabotage, where one team had a bomb and had to transport it to the other team's base to blow it up, and then finally a payload mode similar to Overwatch. So 4 modes in total, including levels like Tatooine, Bespin, Hoth, and Kashyyyk. Now, while all well and good, what's even more impressive and depressing at the same time is that First Assault was actually 100% complete and ready to be released out to the public, but wasn't. Which is actually pretty insane when you think about it. Because for all of these years, we had absolutely no idea it was anywhere near finished, and figured maybe that's why it was canned, but nope. As it turns out, that's just the opposite. According to Wilbert Roget II, the music composer on First Assault, it was ready to be released on the store. And then, like the week it was supposed to go live, I think they announced a Disney buyout and just delayed the beta. And that's when we were like, oh shit. Patrick Wren, no relation to Sabine Wren, is another former dev of First Assault and now currently works on Halo Infinite. He actually went to Twitter recently to reveal the exact specifics of just how close First Assault was to be in everyone's hands. As when asked if the rumors of it being so close to being done were true, he confirmed this by saying, "Yeah, we needed a proper technical beta, ESRB certification, and console certification, but other than that, it was done." Following up with this, Patrick also added how he really wished people could have played or even seen real gameplay, as he was really proud of the game and in some ways it was really ahead of its time. And yeah, based on everything we've heard and seen so far, I tend to agree. First Assault, in my opinion, was basically Republic Commando mixed with the elements of Call of Duty Modern Warfare that many of us love. It was dark and gritty, but had stellar graphics for its time. And honestly, would have still easily passed today in 2020, that's just how great they were. I even tried playing the tech demo and have to say the game feels so nice to play. Granted, there were no bots to shoot at, but you could easily tell First Assault would have been something special had Disney not cancelled it at the last second. Unfortunately, despite the game being finished, it never did get to see the light of day. And according to Patrick, no one really knows where the game itself even is anymore. It exists, it definitely does, but where exactly? Who knows but Disney. But another mystery that the devs themselves don't even know is why it got cancelled in the first place. Some devs think it may be due to EA not wanting Disney to release a game right before they put out their own Star Wars game, especially since it would have potentially lowered the interest from DICE's Battlefront game. While other devs speculate that maybe the game was way too gritty and violent for Disney and that's why it got canned. Sadly, this is likely an answer that we'll never get. But at the very least we know that somewhere out there at Disney is a fully playable build of First Assault. And unlike 1313, this game was very much complete. This is N7 from Silo, signing off.